All right, this is homework 3 for ELO 2. Homework 3 for ELO 2. Homework 3 is all about scientific notation, so let's get into it. I posted a video about scientific notation on the YouTube, so there is actually a YouTube video on my channel named Scientific Notation, so if you want more understanding of this, you can go back and take those notes on that video. Alright, so I want to write 9 times 10 to the 5th in standard notation. 10 to the 5th is just 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So this is what scientific notation is you're taking this first number, which is 9 in this case. Every question is going to be different, and you're going to multiply that by a magnitude of tens. Okay, here I'm doing 5 tenths. So all that does is it takes the decimal in 9, which is 9.00, by the way. If I was talking about money, right, $9 would be $9.00. So the decimal's here, and all I'm doing is I'm taking how many tens I have and I'm multiplying that number by that many tens. So here I'm doing 5 tenths times 10 times 10 times 10, 10, 10. That's 5 tenths. In these missing spots, you put zeros. Okay? So this number right here is equal to 900,000. All right? I hope that makes sense. If not, you got to go back and watch that video that I posted about scientific notation. Okay, number 2. So this one, I want to write this number in scientific notation. So I know 600 is 6 times 100. Okay? And I know 100 is 10 to the power of 2. So this would be 6 times 10 to the power of 2. Okay? A systematic way of doing this would be 600's right here, my decimal's here, and I gotta go back twice. So that would be 2 hops. Which is why I put a 2 there. Okay, moving on to number 3. So here I have 1.3 times 10 to the 5th, and I have times 3 times 10 to the 3rd. Okay, so if you watched the last video, we learned the product of powers rule, the product of powers. Okay, so whenever you have an expression that are multiplying a bunch of factors, like here is a factor, and here is a factor, you can just multiply those like factors. So here, I could do 1.3 times 3, which is 3.9. Okay, and then I have times 10. This is 10 to the 5th, and this is 10 to the 3rd. So that makes 10 to the 8th. And this is my answer. So what am I doing? I'm using the product of powers rule. So I'm using the product rule, and then I'm taking these factors and I'm just multiplying them like I normally would. Okay, so how does this relate to number 4? So a lot of you are getting stuck on number 4, and here's why. The reason you're getting stuck on number 4 is because you get an answer. You're getting an answer. So here you're getting 5.3 times 7. Okay, this is 37.1 times 10 to the 13. Okay, and a lot of you are putting this as your answer. You can't do that because you have to have your decimal right here where there's only one number next to the decimal. So in order to shift that decimal back, we're going to have to add 1 power of 10. We're going to have to add 1 more power of 10 to our exponent. So what I'm trying to say is you have to write 3.71 times 10 to the 13 plus 1, which is 14. Okay, if you're confused by this, all I'm doing is I'm putting one more power of 10 in my base right here of 10. I'm using one more power of 10 because my decimal is supposed to be here between the 7 and the 1, right? Because 7 times 5.3 is 37.1. But in scientific notation, you can't write your decimal next to two whole numbers. So you have to put your decimal here, where there's only one number in front. Okay, that was a little long-winded. Sorry about that. Let's move to number 9. Here, a lot of people are getting stuck on these. It literally just wants you to read the question, and then it wants you to multiply. And since this is a factor and this is a factor, you could just multiply them together. Okay? 27 times 5 is 135. And then we have times 10 to the 7. Now this right here is exactly what I just talked about. The decimal's here, and I need it to be here. So that means I need to add two more factors of 10 to my answer. And I have to do 1.35 times 10 to the 9th. Because you have to write it in scientific notation. Okay? Okay, number 11. Same question, so I'm going to skip it. I hope that this helped. If it doesn't help, you need to email me, or you just need to come in during intervention, or come and ask me after school or something, or during class, and just make sure you are trying to understand the scientific notation stuff. All you're doing with scientific notation is you're multiplying by magnitudes of 10. Okay? I'm done. Thank you. Goodbye.